Yo, what's good? What's good? Good morning. Good morning. Happy Sunday morning from Utah. It is 61 degrees here, Fahrenheit, in Utah. It's beautiful morning. Had a really early morning this today, and man, I'm just feeling great. Super blessed to be here. Thank you guys for tuning in. It is I believe we're on day 14. Yeah. I believe we're on. Oh, sorry about that. I believe we're on day 14. Give me 1 second. Yeah, day 14 for sure. Cool. Alright, guys. So, today, we're not going to be diving into EU. So, in case you guys did miss the full EU breakdown, then I would tune into yesterday's recording. Okay, it was a really good session, just giving a full detailed EU breakdown, intermarket analysis with DXY. Okay. Hey, what's good, brother? Blessings. Yes, sir. Sorry about that audio mess up earlier, but appreciate you guys coming in. And yeah, again, if you want to see how we caught this setup, just please tune into yesterday's recording. I went really in depth to breaking down forex assets and DXY. Went really in depth with it, so definitely catch that one. Today we're gonna dive not so much into the dollar as we did yesterday. Yesterday was just really in detail, and I really liked it. I enjoyed that session yesterday. Really great in detail on the dollar, but basically kind of recapping from yesterday, right? We're just looking for more longs, preferably into this gap first. The weekly goal already got hit last week. Okay, so I'm going to take that one off. And just continuation to the upside right here. That's what I'm overall looking for. Okay, on a daily range, I think we did something really beautiful more towards the end of the week. Last week on Friday, we did sweep the lows, came into these gaps. But we've created a pretty decent size range. So if we end up retracing, I mean, I'd be aiming for a lot of this imbalances to the downside, but we'll really see what this week comes and brings us. Overall, we had an incredibly bullish week, right? Incredibly bullish week on the US dollar. And the US dollar was a lot more clean than, to me, any other asset, especially at the beginning of the week when we respected all of this. We created this nice double bottom Monday, Tuesday, and then just pushed to the upside. Created some insufficiencies. Insufficiencies got respected and replayed by the end of the week. Took out some internal liquidity, filled in some gaps, and pushed to the upside overall. So just continuation, looking for more longs. Okay, looking for more longs overall. And then maybe we get the retracement. I don't know. We just note that we've had, I believe it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so 8 consecutive bullish weeks. Will we get a ninth? Will we get a ninth? That's the question. Will we get a ninth consecutive bullish week for the US dollar? It's possible. It's definitely possible. I anticipate some level of resistance once we get into our first area. Yeah, once we get into the first area, I anticipate some level of resistance, but I'm not thinking we're going to turn all the way around unless we break. No. Yeah, I don't think we're going to turn around yet. I think there's a clear objectives to the upside as of currently. So nor a daily or 4 hours break have created much of a retracement. The daily created more of a retracement than anything, but besides that, it was a really good liquidity sweep to continue moving higher from that previous weekly low. So we'll keep an eye on the dollar, but of course, just longs overall. This week on indices, it's been an interesting week for sure. Okay. Let's go to the monthly. Okay. We're looking a lot better in terms of the monthly for maybe a return back down here. Okay. My first objective goes to this back to the same imbalance. You know, we don't really necessarily have to trade really, really low for us to, you know, have some bullish weeks, days. So in terms of indices, I want to see these highs long term. Long term. But I want to see what happens within this range right here. Okay, basically what happens with this imbalance here. Okay, what is that imbalance going to provide for us? Is it going to provide a good support? Or is it going to provide evidence for more downside? This month is a critical month in the closures because it's also the quarterly quarterly closure. So you also got the 3-month about to close this month as well. Right? So yeah, you got that quarterly closure coming up. This 3-month candle could easily leave an imbalance for us to come back into. Easily. So we'll see what I'm very excited about the quarterly closure. We'll review that quarterly month soon. Once we get closer to the end of September, we'll review that to see how that quarterly is looking. Okay. But overall, long term, very long term, I want to see these highs. Okay. I don't know when we're going to get these highs, but I am aiming for these highs overall. Very long term. If I have to say right now, we could potentially return back into that imbalance. We've came into what I'm measuring here is this wick. Okay, it's that wick, and so around 50% of that wick, we're finding some support. But overall, I want to see price action move lower. Yo, good morning, good morning. Same eyes? Cool. I'm glad. Yeah. Long-term highs currently, I could see us moving a little bit lower. Maybe not today, maybe not soon, but this gap too. Okay, a couple of things to note. Okay, couple of things to note. Liquidity has been taken on the upside. We can come back to those highs. We don't have to, but we can come back to those highs and tap into this imbalance maybe a little bit more. It's a possibility. Okay. Gap right here. Right there. Cool. And a nice gap here. It's pretty small, so I'm gonna just leave it for now, but actually Nah, there it is. Okay. Pretty small gap, but it's there. Another gap right here. And I'm going to go into the daily so I can see them a lot better. I kind of figured that I didn't. 1 second. Okay, 1 sec. There we go. Okay. So just going over the same gaps. Okay. But notice how last week's high remained. That was our initial target of the week. And I didn't set I don't believe I set another one. Not at least for S&P. Okay. But that's the high of last week. And the current week that we just closed was straight bearish towards the downside. We did indeed trade down below this gap here. And I honestly thought we were going to find some level of support there for price. But I don't think that ended up happening at all. We ended up trading down to it, closed below, and then Friday used it as a level of distribution. And honestly, I'm just really looking for more of these lows. But S&P did provide us with a nice shorting opportunity earlier this week. Okay. And the only piece about S&P that makes me feel like we're going to potentially move a little bit higher is these very relative highs. Okay. We still have a possibility to move higher. This range on the daily is bullish though. We're still chilling 50% and above. But notice we go from premium to discount, right? Discount to premium. And from discount back to premium. And now again heading back to discount. So very bearish at the start of the week. I think the Monday was very slow because of the bank holiday. There wasn't much going on there. Tuesday dropped, closed below previous area of accumulation there. And honestly, I really thought we were going to get a return back into that area, but we didn't. We ended up just continuing down, creating some more insufficiency towards the downside and overtaking this weekly, this daily gap right here. Okay. This is a weekly gap right here. And so once we did that in Fridays, I wanted to see more longs out of Friday. And price really struggled because longs was being taken on the dollar, right? The dollar ended up longing pretty hard on Friday, right? Thursday walks itself up. Wednesday walked itself up. Tuesday really just went to the upside, but overall each day walked itself up a little bit more, right? Friday and Thursday walked themselves up about the same range. And so as we were walking ourselves up, we were really low in the range. 1 second. Excuse me. Okay, so we were really low in the range on Friday. And so that's why I didn't want to personally go short. Okay. But once we accumulated back into 50% and above, then those shorts looked a little bit more attractive. Okay. Now we went above previous daily high, tapped into some daily insufficiency, and then found our level of resistance for the day. Area of respect for the day. Friday wasn't the most exciting. Tuesday's shorts, I personally, let's just start with Monday. I'm glad if you guys stayed out of the markets on Monday, definitely pat yourselves on the back for that. Good job. Then you're learning. That means you're learning and you understand lower probability setups are not always there. Tuesday was just a straight dump from the opening price, straight drop. Okay. Really didn't find an opportunity to enter the market there. I was waiting for longs, but they never presented themselves. This is the day that I was waiting for longs, and they never presented themselves. The shorts were just very unattractive. The longs were just never there. On Thursday, okay, the shorts look very attractive. Yeah, the shorts look very attractive. To continue pushing price action down. Now, check this out. When we were on the stream, I believe one of them broke us even first. But I wanted some longs for the day. But the longs were not presenting themselves. But the shorts were eventually. Where we were over here. Where was it? It was like after 10 a.m. Right after 10 a.m. Yep. There's a nice imbalance here. Right. There's a nice overlap here. And so I believe I took a really shitty entry this day. Really, really shitty entry. But right on that overlap between the two, putting our stop loss above the high of the imbalance with the better R&R. And I aimed for that low, that very immediate low. It was very low R&R. But honestly, if it makes money, it makes sense. So took that 1 or 2 right there. And yeah, I mean, that was and I took it probably like as a 101. It was horrible because my entry was way lower. So that was really the only thing that I took on Thursday. Besides that, we took something else. I don't recall, but it broke us even. And then by the end of the day, we ended up going long from this breaker candle, right? From that breaker order block, we ended up going long out of this imbalance as well. Right on that overlap. Okay. And I didn't go break even at all. It wasn't till there it is. That's where I paid myself a little bit. It was, let me mark it out a little bit better. This one's a lot lower. 1 second. Let me see this real quick. Yeah, that one's a lot lower. Okay. Let's go to it anyways. Still in the 5-minute. Okay. And I was aiming first for that blue box. But in between both of those, it was 50% of the range. 50% of that range. 1 second. I should have dragged it out a little bit more. There it is. Okay. So back into premium price action. Okay, and that's where I took my first little partial off of it. And then I just held till that high right there. But you guys know that you guys know that I didn't end up holding the whole trade to that area. When it came back, I'm trying to remember what happened to this trade. I do remember closing just a tad bit right here at 50%, aiming for that blue box. I definitely remember that. I just don't remember how it ended up taking me out. Oh, it was right here. This imbalance here. So the low, my stop loss went from this low to this low. And then I don't know when it went up, and I moved my stop loss again. I think it was like right here. Somewhere over here, I moved my stop loss one more time towards the end of the day, and it came back and it hit me right at break even. And it just, I mean, I would have went almost there, but either way, it didn't make it quite there to our target till after it liquidated our orders. So, in terms of entries, those were the two that we took on Thursday. Again, not the most attractive set of setups. It was a very tough week to trade. That's why you guys, out of, look, we're 14 days in. We're 14 days into our challenge, almost halfway through. We've only traded 3 days. We've only executed 3 days. Almost 15 days, or almost halfway through this 30-day challenge, and we've only traded 3 days. Executed on 3 days. The price action was just last week. Did provide on 1 or 2 occasions opportunities, but besides that, it was very much liquidity buildup. This week was, this previous week was not NFP, but a very liquidity buildup week. And last week was NFP. This coming up week is CPI. You have to be aware of these things. So there's definitely certain days that I'd avoid trading. You know, and you can either, things are either really clean, or you can very much tell that you're going to have a liquidity buildup due to some high impact news. Take note that CPI is this upcoming week. We have CPI. Oh, thanks, brother. Thank you. We have CPI on Tuesday, I believe. Okay, so Monday, Tuesday, probably gonna take it a lot slower, right? Until Tuesday opening price. I'll be with you guys, not through CPI, but I'll be with you guys at 9:30 Eastern on Tuesday, or throughout the whole week. I'll be on by 9 a.m. every day this week again. So either way, price action did what it had to do, built up liquidity on both ends, both for NASDAQ, Dow Jones as well. I want to give you guys this full breakdown on my thoughts on Dow Jones as of right now. Still, to me, this still looks like we can potentially go lower, but that's just me. Okay, bullish price action in terms of structure, but bearish order flow in terms of here and everything ahead right there. So I want to see what ends up happening out of this imbalance. Do we respect it? Do we trade above it? Do we return back to the mitigation candle? Right? Are we completely going to leave that area and continue going lower? We're in very critical areas right now, but we came into premium. We came from premium back to discount in the range on terms of the weekly. Okay. In terms of the daily price action, same thing, from premium to discount, driving us all the way back down to discount. Give me 1 second there. Okay. From premium to discount gaps. 1 second. Let me erase this because I only use the magic blue boxes. Okay, so then we have bullish. Another gap there. Nice gaps all throughout so far. That zone has 2 right there. Yeah, I like this. I like how price action, the areas that we came into. We came back into premium, deep into this imbalance. We didn't quite fill that imbalance out. And my thought my thoughts are that we will potentially, let me put this imbalance there. This is a weekly imbalance, and I believe that we will potentially peak back up there. Maybe we even take this mitigation candle into consideration as well this week, right? That mitigation candle in this upper range of the imbalance could be a possibility that we sought out for this week. Okay, so I'm looking at all these areas. There's quite a bit to look at, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys, there's quite a bit of areas that are very possible this week. So I'm going to do my journaling on Monday, tomorrow, but as of today, I just want to cover what happened since Tuesday. Okay, now on Tuesday we ended up trading up higher, and just for me, I wanted to see at least one previous daily high taken, and we just ended up dumping. As soon as Tuesday comes about, you guys can see here, this is a the December contract, so it's not complete. December contract just opened. You guys can see right there, those insufficiencies still matter. All those gaps, all that stuff is still really great data points. You guys can see how the data is missing, the gaps are there, and the order is still very much present. These gaps that overlap current gaps, I feel like those are very good areas. These areas right here, look at this gap right here, and look at the way that we come into it, reject to the downside. Look at this gap here, we close above it, trade into it, and reject towards the upside. Beautiful price delivery all around. Gaps here, I mean, there's gaps even by these, anything where the candle closure and the candle opening don't match, that's a gap. And you guys can see, look at that, from a previous day, right? It's not even the daily gap, it's just an hourly 4-hour gap. Look at the way that we come back down into it. There's no such thing as coincidences. Would it be potential area from that overlapping imbalance on Tuesday? On the daily chart, let me check. Anyways, those gaps, guys, look at the gaps. Always pay attention to price action. Would it be a potential to make it to potential area from, I'm not sure, potential shorts, potential longs? Daily 29 chart. From that imbalance, I don't know if, like, what you mean, like potential shorts from that area, potential target. For short, yeah, potentially, yeah. Anything's possible. We'll just have to see what ends up playing out by then. But, you know, as I mentioned and been mentioning, I'm pretty bearish on indices as of right now. I'm pretty bullish long term, but bearish in terms of the structure being bullish. For me, it's still pretty bearish order flow. Bearish order flow, still structurally bullish. 1 second. But for me, it's like bearish order flow. I want to see price action start melting towards the downside a little bit more aggressively. So maybe we come back for previous weekly high even. Who knows? I just don't think that we're going to make it all the way back up. I mean, we're pretty low in the range, and there's not... Maybe we'll get back into premium. That's a really good possibility. Maybe we'll make it back into premium. That leaves us back into this area here. But in terms of the daily, we're back in premium already. So any liquidity that gets taken up here, I'd be looking for shorts. Yeah. There's lots of areas to pay attention to, though, if we end up taking the whole range again and creating a new daily higher high. But I have a feeling that this daily is going to break. I have a pretty strong feeling that we're going to end up breaking on the daily. Did anybody participate on shorts for Dow or Nasdaq? I'm gonna break down Nasdaq and we're gonna call it a day, okay? Won't keep you guys too long today. Won't keep you guys too long. Oh, man. 1 sec. Oh man, if you were on those shorts on Tuesday, those were some really clean shorts. Let's break Nasdaq down. And let's do this now. Let me bring back Dow real quick. Let me bring back Dow. And let's go to the daily and study the daily on DXY. Okay, so on Dow, actually, let's go to the 4 hour on everything. Since Thursday of last week, or Monday of this week, let's just do this week. We came down to a gap, traded up. Tuesday goes long, hard. Okay. On Dow, Tuesday trades into this gap of the previous Monday and then just trades down pretty rough all the way to that daily gap right there. That gap on the daily. Okay. Then we trade below it, we respect it, and keep pushing down towards this gap. Okay. In that same day, that DXY started pushing up at 7 a.m. Started going long. This whole day is bearish on Dow. Okay. Wednesday at 7 a.m. This whole day here on Dow is bearish. Okay. So despite it not being the whole entire day bearish, Dow was definitely bearish. Okay, so there's a lot of times during the week where you can tell that DXY or Dow, for example, Dow did not want to move lower. Despite DXY moving lower, Dow didn't want to move higher or pull back any higher. Despite DXY moving lower through that range, Dow didn't want to do anything but move lower and straight lower. Okay. Then you have Thursday. Thursday you have bullish opening. Kind of reflects here bearish on Dow. And then right at 2 a.m. Right at 2 a.m. on this very bullish candle on DXY. Right at 2 a.m. Or actually, yep. Right at 2 a.m. Oh, for this one, it's that one right here between those two. Right at 2 a.m., we see bullishness on DXY, bullishness on Dow. Right? And then we have a minor pullback. You kind of see that on both ends. But overall, bullish on Thursday and then bullish on Thursday over here. Right? And so something wasn't sitting with me right, because also we were taking out previous daily highs easily. And then on Dow, we were respecting previous daily lows. Okay. So the liquidity wasn't being ran in the same correlation as the DXY. If we were opposing correlation, DXY takes out previous high, Dow takes out previous daily low. But that wasn't the case. You know, we were printing for the majority of Thursday, we were printing in the same direction. Okay. On Friday, you guys can see, let's go down to the 1 hour and dissect Friday with Dow. The reason I did not play indices was because there was no bearish order flow. Okay. and I'll tell you guys what I mean. So when I was with you guys this morning, DXY on the right was pushing lower, right? We were looking at DXY pushing lower, and it started pushing lower at 8 a.m. Okay, this is that push higher here at 8 a.m. Boom, starts pushing lower, cool, lower. Then around 9 a.m., 10 a.m., we hit a low point and a gap here on the dollar. We hit a 4-hour imbalance. We hit a lot of things there on the dollar. Here, hold on. Let me mark out that 4-hour. Wow. Oh, no. It's right there. Sorry. I couldn't see it. Okay. And let's go back to... Okay, so we hit this area here on the dollar, on the US dollar, hit the top of our range here on the left. That range, we hit the high end of that on Friday. A 4-hour imbalance, a gap. We hit all of these very strong levels of support right around this area, right after we took our previous daily high. And Dow had taken out, previous daily low, and Dow had taken out previous daily high. All right, so there was good confluence there up until this point. But then it got to 10 a.m., our trading window, okay, got till 10 a.m., and then 10 a.m. started pumping to the upside on DXY, which is 10 a.m. is right here. But for some odd reason, we were getting the same type of reaction on Dow. And so that's one of the main reasons I stayed away from these Dow shorts, because there was no sign that we were going to continue pushing lower in terms of price action. You see, DXY doesn't tell me the directional bias for indices. It is a supporting confirmation to support my either short or already determined long bias, right? My either already determined short or long bias. Right, so in terms of Friday, I just was not looking at those. To be honest, I was just didn't find those attractive in terms of price action. Price action needs to look clean, and if it doesn't, you just don't trade it. You don't execute on it. You don't give it energy, attention, any of that. Yeah, just wasn't it. The longs, if you did participate on the longs, good for you. Hopefully you guys paid yourselves. I did see a couple of people that did participate on the longs, actually, which was really cool. And I'm glad that you guys participated on the longs. Then, DXY started blasting off. So we were talking about Friday release. Okay, Friday tends to be one-sided for one moment and then have a release. That's why I tend not to hold trades. So if I was in the long, I tend not to hold trades. I just go for immediate targets, and on Fridays I'm usually closed, because sometimes this release that happens towards the second half of the day will come back and hit me out at break even on my Friday entry. And so I tend to avoid trading Fridays like that, because of that release. Right? Super one-sided for a good chunk of the morning, and then the rest of the day is the other side. Right? Completely just goes the other direction. It happens quite often. Back test it. I know people that specifically trade it. I know people that specifically trade that release. They'll buy it and then they'll short it that very same day. It's the Friday release. All of these terms for trading that you guys got to keep up with. Okay, so NASDAQ next. While we have the DXY on the left. On the right. Okay. Weekly on Nasdaq, we've already determined the range. Okay. Then on the daily, determine our range here. Okay. And on all of them, notice we made it back to premium. I mean to discount. All of them so far have made it back to discount. Some way deeper than others. There's a couple of areas on Nasdaq that I wanted to see. Get a reaction. This was the first one. And we did end up tapping into that. 1 second. Boom. Okay, there's one. This imbalance here, I wanted to see if we returned back into it. We didn't. We didn't even respect it to continue going higher. There's a gap right here on the left. I'm not going to note it, but just know it's there, right there. There's also a gap right here. It's very small gaps. But notice how price action comes into it and bodies just tend to respect it. If it's a strong area, maybe big or small, but the strength is not determined by the size of the gap. In terms of last week, Monday, Tuesday, I'm gonna go for this new week opening gap here. And this imbalance back over here. So Nasdaq does have reason to move lower, but ideally I'd want to see this 50% and below that we built up get taken and go long from there. We'll see if we even get that reaction. We could just dump super hard from here on out. Who knows? From Tuesday, we just had this bearish closure. Tuesday was a nice doji. It was a back and forth type of day. Tuesday was long for Nasdaq. Interesting. Interesting Nasdaq. Gap here on Nas. Daily gap. %50 and above. Yeah, we remain so far 50% and above overall. For the most of the week, we barely tapped into 50% and below. Barely. So Nasdaq, for me, yeah, Nasdaq swept that previous daily high there. Beautiful. And then just dumped after Tuesday. Not much of a return. For anybody in those Tuesday shorts, though, sheesh. Yeah. Whoever took those Tuesday shorts, clean. But overall, Friday, again, respected the shorts, but they respected the long price action as well. So, not much we could have done there on Friday. But overall, I did short on Wednesday. Nice. Okay, so Wednesday shorts, clean. This one. Tuesday. Tuesday was that long day. Tuesday was the longs. Wednesday was the shorts. Beautiful, beautiful. Tuesday longs from that previous daily low was really clean. I do remember the Tuesday longs. Okay, I do remember the Tuesday longs. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I remember the Tuesday longs. It was right here. I remember because also ICT did a live session that morning. It's like a nice 2-hour session, but yeah, we did long from those areas. And then trade into Asian highs. And previous daily highs. Beautiful. Then Wednesday, I was really expecting something a little bit higher, but we just dumped. 10 a.m. doesn't even leave a wick behind and just continues to fall. Maybe after the 4-hour liquidity grab, I didn't see it. Let's see. Yeah, there was no liquidity graph for me at least. Let's see, off on this one. Yeah, no liquidity graph for me at least. But I do have different candle closures. But yeah. Really clean. Again, really didn't participate too much last week. I am looking forward to this week though. I'm looking forward to this week on CPI. Okay, so guys, don't use all your bullets right off the bat. Okay, tomorrow morning when we get together at 9 a.m. Eastern, and every day this week at 9 a.m. Eastern for this 30-day stream. Tomorrow when we go live, I'll do my journaling with you guys. Make sure that you're tuning in early. I'm going to start the stream like right at 9. Meditation may come in a few minutes before that or at the start of that. Or maybe I'm thinking I'll do it like a couple minutes before, so that way we can start right at 9 a.m. Go right into the charts. I dive deep so I can do my whole weekly analysis and journaling. And then we, Monday, Tuesdays are always really depth into journaling the befores, right? Making sure that we have the befores and we have our weekly biases set and daily objectives. So if you guys want to check all that out, be sure to tune in tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern. In terms of the indices, you guys clearly saw why a lot of the times I was just staying away, right? The shorts were the only ones that really made sense at all this week. Tuesday longs, I don't know where the hell Nasdaq got Tuesday longs from. Look at this. Okay, I think this wick right here might have been like Nasdaq's longs from, I don't know, but Nasdaq went long. So the divergence or the price difference, prices wasn't correlating. Did not want to correlate this week, and it's all right. Sometimes you're gonna have weeks like that. You just need to learn how to handle your trades on weeks like that. There's a couple of people that profited on the longs, some profited on the shorts. I profited on some shorts and some longs. No, just the shorts last week. Yeah, just the shorts. I'm still in this one. I'm gonna hold it down, so we'll update everything on tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Okay. It was Tuesday evening UK time. Interesting. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate you guys tuning in. I'll see you guys tomorrow, and we'll break down the charts again. We'll get ready for the week. We'll journal together, set weekly, daily objectives, and we'll just prepare for the week. Have an amazing Monday. I'll see you guys. I'll be with you guys through CPI as well. So don't blow your accounts by Monday, or all your risk for the week on Monday. Don't go so hard on Monday. Monday may even be a huge liquidity buildup. Okay, it may be a huge liquidity buildup day. Okay, so don't just rush into the markets on Monday. Test the waters with some lower risk and figure if it is going to be a high probable day or if it's just going to be a liquidity buildup day. Okay, I'll see you guys tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern. Be prepared, bring some notes, bring your journals, and let's have an incredible rest of the week. Okay, guys, trade responsibly. Make sure that you guys are preparing and reviewing your trades from last week. Okay, review your trades from last week, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Okay, peace.